The summer sun baked the streets of Savannah, Georgia, where the scent of magnolia mixed with car exhaust. On that hot afternoon, the sidewalks pulsed with tension as a young black woman stood outside a cafe, clutching a paper cup of iced coffee. Her name was Tanya Rivers, a local school counselor and mother of two. She had just finished work, waiting for her husband, Eli, to pick her up. Eli was a soft-spoken man, built like a statue, broad-shouldered, calm eyes, the kind of presence that made even chaos hesitate before approaching. Most people in town didn't know much about him. He rarely spoke of his past. Across the street, 2 police cruisers rolled up, lights flashing, though no sirens blared. A confrontation had broken out nearby. A teenager accused of shoplifting a soda bottle got, as Tanya stood waiting, one of the officers, a red-faced man named Officer Dugan, turned his suspicion toward her Yuhei. "Step back from the scene," he barked, pointing at her. Tanya blinked, confused. "I'm not involved, sir. I'm just waiting for my—" "Did I ask for a speech?" Dugan snapped, already striding over. His hand rested on his holster. People nearby started watching. A few lifted their phones. Tanya raised her hands, voice trembling. "Sir, I'm not resisting." But before she could finish, Dugan shoved her hard. The coffee flew from her hand, splattering across the pavement as she fell backward onto the concrete, her head hitting the curb with a hollow thud. The crowd gasped. Someone shouted. She didn't do anything. And that's when Eli stepped out of the cafe. He had seen everything through the glass. The ring on his finger caught the light as his hand tightened around it. Slowly, he pulled it off, an old habit from a life most people never knew he had to live. He placed it gently on the nearest table. Then he walked toward Dugan. "Hey," Eli said quietly. His voice was calm, even polite. "You have 5 seconds to back away from my wife." Dugan turned, sneering. "What did you say to me, boy?" Eli stopped just a few feet away. His eyes didn't flicker. "You've already made one mistake. Don't make another." The other officer, Patrolman Jensen, stepped forward nervously. "Sir, please, let's not make this worse." But Dugan was past reason. "Oh, it's already bad," he growled, grabbing Eli by the shoulder. That was the last thing he should have done. In a blink, Eli twisted, grabbed Dugan's arm, and pinned him face down against his own cruiser before anyone even processed what had happened. The motion was fluid, precise too efficient for an ordinary man. "Shh," Dugan gasped, stunned, as his wrist locked in a position that screamed training. "Who the hell are you?" Jensen shouted, fumbling for his radio. Eli didn't look up. "United States Navy," he said softly. "SEAL Team 6 retired." The words fell like thunder. By then Tanya was sitting up with the help of a bystander, blood trickling from a cut above her eyebrow. Her voice wavered. "Eli, stop, please." He looked at her, his entire expression changing. The rage drained from his face, leaving behind pure concern. He released Dugan, who stumbled back, clutching his wrist. But the damage was done. Dozens of witnesses had caught it all on camera. And within minutes, 2 more squad cars arrived. "Sir, put your hands on your head," the sergeant ordered. Eli complied instantly. His discipline never left him. As they cuffed him, Tanya tried to protest, tears mixing with the dirt on her face. "He didn't do anything wrong. He protected me." "I saw him assault an officer," Dugan barked, still clutching his arm. The sergeant frowned. "We'll review the footage." For now, everyone stays calm. ... Hours later, inside a small police station, the truth began unraveling. Security footage from the cafe and multiple cell phones confirmed everything. Tanya had been standing still when Dugan attacked her. Eli's intervention had been defensive, not aggressive. The chief of police, Martha Givens, watched the footage in silence, her jaw tightened. "Dugan," she said finally, "you're suspended effective immediately." Dugan's face drained of color. "Chief, don't," she snapped. "You shoved an unarmed woman without cause and escalated a peaceful scene. You're lucky her husband showed more restraint than you." Then she turned to Eli. "Mr. Rivers, I read your file. 20 years in service. You've seen more in a day than most of us see in a lifetime." Eli said nothing. His hands rested on the table, calm as stone. "I'm sorry this happened," Givens continued quietly. "You're free to go. And your wife's medical bills, those will be covered by the department." Eli only nodded once. "Thank you, ma'am." When he stepped out into the night, Tanya was waiting for him. Her eyes were swollen, but she smiled faintly when she saw him. "You didn't have to take the ring off," she whispered. He smiled back, touching her face gently. "When I take it off, I stop being your husband for a moment. I become the man who protects what's his. That's how I make sure I come back to you." She leaned into him, silent tears falling. The world around them buzzed with reporters and flashing cameras, but for that moment, there was only the two of them. By morning, the story had gone viral. Headlines read, "Cop assaults woman, Navy SEAL husband. Intervenes police chief responds swiftly." People across the country debated, argued, analyzed every frame. Some called Eli a hero. Others called him dangerous. But to Tanya, he was simply the man who never let go, even when the world tried to break him. A week later, Eli received a letter from the department. It wasn't an apology, it was a request. "Mr. Rivers," it read, "we're forming a new civilian training program on de-escalation and crisis control. We'd like you to lead it." He chuckled softly when he showed Tanya. "Guess they learned something after all." She grinned. "You gonna say yes?" He looked at her, sunlight catching the faint scar on her temple. "If it means no other woman gets treated like you did." And that afternoon, the quiet man who once walked away from war stepped forward again, not for battle, but for peace. Because some warriors never stop fighting. They just change what they fight for.